Can you hear me? Yes, perfect. You know what? When I got accepted to FFConf, I was really happy. Then I found out what FF meant. What do you mean by future friends? My talk is about cult. We are not friends. So I felt like when I come on stage, I need you guys to get into the atmosphere of this talk. So, let me... Yeah, good. Before we start, I need to first do a little quiz with you guys, just to get you to fight, you know? So that you're not future friends, but fake friends. First question. So, of course, yeah, I will show you a few questions, and then you will either be exposed or praised at the end of this little quiz. First question. Wait, before we start, are you ready? Yes. No. Are you ready? Yes. Yeah! Let's go! So, first question. I had to. What is the best JavaScript framework ever made?
jQuery!
Okay. That's not how it works. It's not democracy here. I decide which answer you have to pick, not you. So I will show you A, B, C, D, and you have to scream at the end, A, B, C, or D. A, React, of course. B, Vue. Next question, please. C, Angular, obviously. And finally, all the above. Of course, I have to be democratic. So, go ahead. A, B, C, or D? B. Oh, I hear D. Oh, yeah, it was D. Yeah. You get it. Second question. What is JavaScript really? A, the language of the web. B, a social experiment. A social experiment gone too far. C, a sentient being evolving by NPM. And D? Oh, you get it. All the above. A, B, C, or D, go.
D.
Yes, it was D! Yeah! And finally, last question, because I see Remy being like, what is the first line of code any dev worth his or her salt ever wrote? A. Some help. B. Console log, hello world. C. Yeah. And D? You guys get it. Let's go. So, which one? A, B, C, or D, go.
D.
E?
B.
Z? No, it was B, of course. Of course. It wasn't D. Come on. I need to be a little bit more, give you a little tension, I cannot take the D answer each time. Come on. So, on that note, hello world. Yes, for me, it was the first line of code I've ever written. I started when I was 15 years old, and I didn't know actually what I was doing. I just wanted to create a little forum, and you needed to have some basics of coding. So I was just really doing weird stuff with HTML, CSS, and a little bit of JavaScript, but I had no idea people were actually paid to write spaghetti code. So I was just, doing things on my own. I had no idea that there were a world outside of my little room, my little computer. Then I had my first job, and little did I know how many cults there were in that world. Yes. I started at my first job, and I was at a big company in France, and it was very, there were people using multiple languages, not just one, because we had multiple projects. And when I started, people were like, hey, so what is your stack? Oh, I do JavaScript. You do JavaScript? I was judged so hard. They were like, why don't you do Java? It's better. Yeah, JavaScript sucks. And I was just like attacked, and I was like, okay, I'm just here to work, Let's not get political here. And that's at that time that I realized that the dev world was actually mirroring society as a whole, So let's do a little bit of philosophy here. Are anyone familiar with Hobbes? Yeah? So Hobbes is a philosopher from the 17th century, and he essentially tried to find the reason behind the creation of societies. Why did we decide to come together and create a society? And his big idea is that we decided to stop fighting because in his theory, before society was born, we were all in a state of nature, or should I say, fighting each other. And in that state, people were, all game. You could kill anyone you want. There was no rule. It was full disorder. Then, at some point, we decided that we wanted to live longer, healthier, and we came together and submitted to a higher authority, which is now, I guess here should be the prime minister, or the king, or whatever, and and we decided that it was better for us to be under that authority so that we could all live collectively together. And it sort of mirrors how we are today as devs in dev societies. We were all, maybe coding in our own mom's basement, and we decided that maybe we should come together, create rules instead of complete chaos, and that's how it started, But like every societies, it went beyond that. It wasn't just for the security. There is another concept I want to introduce here. Are you guys familiar with Maslow? The pyramid of Maslow? Yeah, very famous. Basically, the pyramid of Maslow is a theory that we all have needs, and they are hierarchical. So at the base, you have the physiological needs. It's basically, water, oxygen, what you need to survive on a day-to-day basis. Then you go up, and you have safety and security. You want to be safe, you want to have shelter, you want to be warm, you want to be good. And then you go up, you have love and belonging. Once you are, well-fed, warm, safe, you want more from that. You want more from life. You want to belong somewhere. You want to have friendship, family, intimacy, and connection. Then once you all have that, friends, family, and so on and so forth, you want self-esteem. You want to feel good about yourself. And then the last one is self-actualization. It's basically the highest you could be, the highest state you could be as a human being. Essentially, it's when you can realize yourself as a person, do what you truly want. And we can see that in dev societies, At first, we were here for the security, the safety of having, a group that you can learn together, you can all, make works together. And then it went beyond that. It started to be a sense of belonging. You are here because you make friends. You are here because you get to have that connection that you crave. And then once you have that, go higher. You start to have self-esteem. You start to identify maybe with your tools because they make you feel good, The good thing about, web development or, software development in general is that you can actually see your progress. It's very satisfying, like any type of craft that you do. And with that, you take pride in your creation, like any type of artist. And then self-actualization. You get to fully realize yourself because you get to go fully into creative mode, morality, or any type of other things. And I feel like this pyramid of Maslow, it represents so well how we feel as dev and why we tend to go into cult. Yeah, and the great thing about that is that it's not just blah, blah, blah philosophy. There is actually research made that actually go with my point. Here, there is a research made on the sense of belonging, and it says that, because developers feel like they belong, well, developers that feel like they belong tend to have less burnout, tend to be less prone to burnout. And that's great because, burnout is a big thing in our world. There are so many developers that tend to go into burnout, and I feel like one of the ways to kind of prevent that would be to have everyone included, And of course, you have better resilience, better job satisfaction, and well-being. That's great. That's great. I love this. And I wish I could I wish I could stop here and just let's go to the restaurant. I'm hungry. But I'm not here for that. I'm here for cult. I'm here for division. I'm here for hatred, anger. I'm here for that, okay? I see you guys smiling, and I'm not happy with that. I'm serious. Now, the dark side. Well, I'm here. Of course, I said, we all belong together, we all find friends, we can realize ourselves as people, blah, blah, blah. But there is a dark side to it. Gatekeeping, elitism, imposter syndrome, and all of that. We have seen a bit of that in the previous talk, and, that's the reality of that. We feel like we belong, but also we love to exclude. And I wonder why. Why is that we want to get into cults, and then we fight the other cults? Why are we like this? If you look at any other jobs in this planet, nobody does this. Do doctor like, oh my God, you do cardiology, you suck. Gynecology is better? No, they don't do that. Why are we so cultish? What's wrong with us? So I tried to find online the reason why. It was very hard for me. I had to look into all the research papers ever made. No one made that theory. No one dug into this. Until I found something. Are you ready? For the reason why we are so into cults, why we love that, why we love to fight, why we love to be on top of each other, just over tools. The reason is collective narcissism. I see a lot of people being like, yeah, I'm definitely a narcissist, I relate. Yes, collective narcissism. Basically, I think everyone must be familiar with the term narcissism. It's so popular online. But you know what I mean. Yeah. So I would just refresh for people that are not familiar with that term. Narcissism is essentially when you feel like you are better than anyone else, but deep down, you feel like you are lesser than everyone else. And it's the same for collective narcissism. When I say collective narcissism, I don't mean that people inside that group of people are narcissists themselves. It's just as a group, it's narcissism. Basically here, the theory is that there are groups of people that feel like they are superior to others. But, and they take pride in that identity. But deep down, they're a bit insecure. So they need to have external validation. So they seek external validation. And when you dare criticize just the tiny thing about them, but their identity, they snap. They snap. Because you are not just criticizing, their cult. You are criticizing them as a person. It's a personal attack. And I felt like it was fitting right well into that talk. If you look at, group of cults, Java dev, React dev, yes, PHP dev, or any type of, even IDE cults. There are IDE cults, like the VS Code cult. They're all like this. If you criticize tiny little thing about that, they snap. Of course, not everyone is like this. I'm talking about the ones that are in the cult, not just the people that are just, messing around with that technology. And now, the fun part. I can see you guys. I can see it. You want to say something. You want to say something. So now, I will ask you guys to just give me the framework, the technology, the group of people that you feel like are really deep into that cult. Go ahead.
Crypto.
Okay. Okay, we have crypto, Tailwind, JavaScript.
Web3.
Web3?
Yeah.
Okay. Rust? Ooh. He said Rust, and I heard everyone be like, having chill all over the place. I know you guys are scared of Rust dev. I know it. Me too. I'm scared of them. Anyone else? React? Do you agree with React? Yeah. How many people are in the React cult? Okay, so could you clap your hand because people cannot really see your hands? How many? Clap. Wow, like standing ovation here. Wow. Anyone else?
Functional programming.
Okay, I can tell that I'm in a JavaScript conference because someone said functional programming. Anyone else? You can really get it outside here. It's a safe place. Only me get hate.
CSS.
Sorry?
Tailwind CSS.
Ooh, Tailwind CSS. So many people clap at this. Oh my God. You guys hate Tailwind CSS people? Yeah?
TypeScript.
Ooh. So there is a mad lad right in front of me. You cannot see him, but yeah, he's all in red. And he said, TypeScript, and everyone be like, oh my God, thank you. Finally someone said it. I knew someone had to say TypeScript. Anyone else?
All developers.
All developers, including me? Me? No way. Okay, let's move on because I see, let me be like, okay, so you are here, you wonder, I'm here to learn something. We keep making Rust session. Can we learn something from that session? Yes, you can, you will, and I'm getting to that. So, when I made this talk, it was difficult for me to kind of give you a concrete takeaway. So I asked my colleague, hey, I'm doing this talk about dev tribalism. Okay, can you give me your takeaway? Then they were like, well, first of all, popular takeaway number one, tribes should be around mindset, problem-solving method. It was very popular. Almost everyone said like, yeah, we should all about the mindset, it's about being a programmer, not being in a cult. I was like, cool. Then takeaway number two. Instead of embracing collective narcissism, we should focus on sharing cool ideas and tools. And you know what? I was like, yeah, that's great. Honestly, I feel like the two popular takeaways are great. You can take a picture, you can keep it in your mind and change your mindset. Leave that cult. Then I felt like, oh my God, this is so boring. No, I'm not here to be nice. I'm not here to, I want something controversial here. So I had to bring the controversy myself. Here are my controversial takeaway. And this is all me. Yeah, you can hate me. specifically. First of all, I want to say this, but thank you for being here. I feel like being in a cult is amazing. We are the only one in this world that are in a cult based on our job and tools, I think. And that's great. We are unique, we are awesome, and we shouldn't be ashamed of that. We should embrace that. So, first of all, I want everyone to clap. Yeah? For yourself. It feels good, right? To clap for yourself. Like, I really feel the narcissism, like, going through my body. You should do that every day, you know? Like, when you do something awesome, or you solve a bug that you've been a week into, let's go, you know? Feels good, feels good. My second takeaway is that, actually, when you look at the history of software development and all the tools, languages, frameworks that have been made, they all come from cults. What I mean by that is that when you criticize other groups and you do it in a constructive way, this is how you move things forward. I know you guys said TypeScript sucks, but TypeScript was born from all the criticism that was sent at JavaScript. And it's just one example. There are so many tools, so many frameworks, so many languages that have been created out of constructive criticism. And this is how our world is moving forward, is developing, is evolving through constructive criticism, through cults. Because you are so passionate about that, passionate about your tools, passionate about your craft. That's how you can push others forward with constructive criticism, of course. Don't just say, oh, this language sucks because I don't know how to use it. Or I only use that one. So anyone that uses something else sucks. Be like, I don't like this framework, this tool, this IDE, because, and this is a logical reason. And it's through cults that us developers are evolving. Yes, let's say yes to cults. Come on, yes to cult, yes to cult, yes to cult. Yeah, and that's it. Thank you. That's me.